So Debbie, you're a producer, a publisher. How do you get a book deal? How do you actually get that done?
It's a question that I'm asked in every airport. Every time I go through security and they ask me why I'm going into the US or something, it's like, well, I'm meeting with my, my publisher, and it's like, oh, everybody's written a book, So you get some guy saying, well, how do I get into a publishing house? But I think it's a matter of really whatever you want to do is not to be afraid of the word no, because people can only say no, and then you move on to the next thing. And I got my deal, which was very funny, with Random House in New York, because I went to a trade show with the videos, and there were a lot of publishers there, and they said, why don't you do a book, And this was Martha was just starting, and I think she was with the same publisher, and so I went down to New York, and I had all these business cards, and I called one of them up, and they said, sure, come in, and they gave me a deal straight away, and I thought, that's really weird, but not a lot of money, and I knew to do a book that was based on photography, with lots of pictures, was expensive. So I went through the whole list, and I went to see them all. They're all in the same area, and they all offered me book deals, which was like, well, this is really cool. I didn't know anything about it. So I thought, well, I'll go to the top, which was Random House, and it wasn't quite so easy. And I said, oh, I met you at this trade show. And she said, well, send in your manuscript. I said, oh, I haven't written anything yet. So I was kind of just about to hang up. And she said, I said, well, but I'm here. She said, where are you? I said, I'm in the lobby. So she was like, oh, God. So she came down, and then she showed me a small room with all these design books. And she said, now tell me why you're so special. These are all manuscripts from all over the world. Why do you want to do this book? So it wasn't overnight, but, it was starting at the bottom and working my way up, because I knew, let's try with the biggest. And that's how I did it. And then I won the Book of the Year award. How, I don't know. But I won the Libris Award, and they offered me an 8-book deal. And it was very funny, because I was speaking to my stepfather in England, and Brits don't slap you on the back very much. They're not like North Americans. And my father said, how's that book thing going? And I said, well, Dad, it's going really well. In fact, they're going to do 8. There was deathly silence on the end of the phone, and he said, if I speak to your granny, you could sell 9. Get it? I said, no, Dad, I haven't sold 9 books. It's like, and, so it was that feeling of, no support, and so, but it was just a matter of really just keeping at it and just trying. And I think it's with whatever hat you want to wear, whatever you want to do, when people say, well, how did you get on that show? How did you get on Oprah? How did you do that? You ask. And if they say no, you say, okay, well, failed at that one, I'll try again. Because there are so many avenues out there for people. And I think we're so intimidated, we're so brought up of being told, don't make mistakes, get it right, don't be a loser. But being a loser is sometimes part of the whole picture, and you cry, pick up your socks, and you go out and you try again.